Hello? Test. Hello, hello. Test. Hello, hello. All right, what are we going to focus on? Hello? Yep, this is William. Shit. right now what I'm looking at is the HYOAS, which is the high yield. Options adjusted. Right now what I'm looking at spread is the and typically in the past this would give us kind of a heads up, or this would be the first thing that broke when a time of crisis financially happened. So things like '08 and whatnot. My agent here, Violet, tracks volatility specifically in the markets. So right now we're focused on that. That's not the only thing we care about, but tracks volatility specifically in the markets. So right now we're focused on that. That's not the only thing we care about, but tracks. And this is something I've been looking at or researching on and off for probably months now. And the problem is it's not really something I've studied myself. And so I often have to remind myself with very simple definitions. So I switch over to haiku here on the right-hand side to kind of like save my tokens, if that makes sense. So I switch over to haiku. And then my agent will run on Fable, while my just little dumb, I need, some assistance understanding what actually is going on. I'll use like a haiku on the side. So as far as of June 2026, which is like today, obviously, or the HYOAS level is tighter significantly than it ever was in '08 or during the GFC. Like 276 basis points is pretty crazy, but as everyone can see, the market's doing just fine today. And that's fine. Still just trying to kind of wrap my head around how to even begin to read and understand what's going on here. Haiku here seems to believe we're in the danger threshold, but I will. One rule to take if you're ever working with AI is just take everything with a grain of salt. But the compression would be considered significantly extreme, all things taken into account. So CCC would be the lowest rung of the high yield territory, so I'm wondering if this is like the lower half of the K-shaped credit world. Lower high yield distressed territory. Yeah, so distressed credit has been and probably will continue to be performing, or at least at more risk. And because HY has been so unreliable for this. I mean, it has been so tight for so long. We're going to start looking at this specifically to maybe understand where the cracks in the cracks would be. We're already looking at the credit spreads to try and find the cracks, and where the cracks in the cracks would be not visible yet. So we'll go look at even smaller granular detail within it to try and go one step beyond that. Even smaller granular detail within it, try and go one step beyond that. And what my agent pulled down here, what Violet pulled, was the Fred 610 print, which had CCC at 9.57, and that's one of the triggers. Her meaning Violet has been keeping. She Okay, and Haiku does not like that either. And what Violet's talking about right now is we had a decision tree we created sometime in the past where if this were to print, it would mean exit immediately. Again, can't stress this enough. We always want to take things with a grain of salt because dealing with AI here, dealing with LLMs, it's a powerful tool, but you can't take it verbatim. Whatever it's telling you, you kind of have to consider it, but always have it in the back of your head that it could be going off of some old training data. It could be going off of information you have in your repo that might not have updated, that might be entered incorrectly, or even a hallucination, something like that. So we're just doing a little bit more digging to kind of figure out if we care about this, and if we do care about this, what we should do about it. Or, on the other hand, if it's wrong, what we need to adjust or fix. Because if I'm understanding it correctly, this isn't like a small thing. This would be something we probably want to care about or act about in the market. Just trying to figure out this in the larger perspective. All right, so what I'm asking right now is this threshold that Violet just tracked as being crossed. Is it something actually new? Is this something that's been crossed, once or twice or even several times over the past couple months, or, maybe a year or two ago, whatnot? Where does this information fit in the larger perspective of that specific metric? And it kind of helps me as the uneducated, or I guess non-expert in this field, understand how important it actually is. So what I mean by that is sometimes the AI, when you're dealing with this, they will think everything's important. Like, oh, wow, this is like a significant finding. I find that it helps for me to kind of find out how significant it is, because it might be significant for the day, the week, the year, the decade, if that makes any sense. And for example, when we're dealing with the high yield, option adjusted spread, we can see that is significant because it's more concentrated than it was in '04 or '07 in the lead up to those, big financial downfalls. We're trying to see if likewise if this is in that same category. And what you'll see here on the right-hand side, the left-hand side is my agent I'm working with right now. This is kind of like an orchestrator level I like to go with. So it can completely see Violet's repo. It can see all the data that Violet has saved. But I've specifically asked this model not to like boot up as Violet. So it's not really kind of falling into that trap of like, oh, this is my argument. It's kind of like appreciating it from an outside point of view, if that makes sense. My argument is kind of like appreciating it from an outside view, if that makes sense. So really kind of just using AIs to look at AIs with the hope that they can catch each other if there is a problem. And this is kind of like habits that have been created or developed after being burned repeatedly, as I'm sure anyone who's doing this seriously has been. And I've kind of just accepted it as part of the process. And actually, even before we get into that, if we look right here, I was kind of right. So this 9.57 mark that she was just telling me we've crossed is something we are reapproaching that's been held for 6 weeks this spring and then walked away from. So earlier this year. And that is going to lead me to some more questions now, okay? So now I want to go back and look at what happened in spring, what was going on in the market then, and maybe that can give me a clue of what we're looking at. Let's do the 1% VIX calls hedge. Draft the structure for me. I think if you're paying attention, you'll notice that sometimes I'm giving probably or writing sentences a little bit more wordy than most people would probably advise you to. And I kind of do this because I want a particular type of response. I want the AI to explain it in a depth in the way I want it to, so I can like maybe understand it better. So I could ask it to just pull the data, and it might do that. But by saying like it might help me understand what we're looking at, it's going to go through the steps of maybe taking a more educational approach, or maybe a more narrative reasoning of what happened this past spring. But we'll see what it comes up with. reasoning of what happened. So in the meantime, while that's thinking, while that's cooking, I try and be productive, and I'm going to go over here. In the meantime, while that's thinking, and have my orchestration level, I don't know how to even refer to it. And I'm gonna feed all of this over here. And this guy, sometimes I call him Orc, he's expecting this kind of format. He knows that I'm going to be posting clippings from Violet to him all day. And so he'll know how to read this and incorporate it. And I just want him to kind of like give it a looks over, see if it's factual, accurate, if it's like being a little bit too, what's the word for it? Like, is Violet being a little too dramatic? Like, is it being a little too, you know, exaggerated? Oh God! What are you doing? All right. So what Violet's telling me is the last time CCC, the 3 C's, I don't know what the proper way to refer to this is, was at this point was basically March 3rd. So I don't want to open my own brokerage account, so we're just going to use this. Which is not an amazing look for the market. As you see, there's a pretty big dip from March 3rd all the way on to April. Hey, chill out, chill. It's my dog. I'm gonna go feed him in a second. Just hold on. All right, I'll be right back. All right.